You love your cat, right? But let's be honest, sometimes their behavior is a total puzzle. That scratching, the weird anxiety, the 3 a.m. zoomies, it's easy to just shrug and say, well, that's just cats being cats. But what if that's not the whole story? What if it's a sign of something much deeper, a kind of hidden crisis happening right under our noses? Today, we're going to dig into why your cat isn't just being a cat and what science says we can actually do about it.
You know, we keep our cats inside because we think it's the best thing for them. It's safe, it's comfortable, but this leads to something researchers have dubbed the indoor cat conundrum. It's this really widespread problem of, well, silent struggles. These aren't just one-off quirks. It's a pattern of stress-related issues affecting cats everywhere.
So, let me ask you, does this sound familiar? You're doing everything right. You buy the good food, the water bowl is always full, they have a cozy bed, and still, your sofa looks like it's been in a fight. Or maybe you find that little surprise right next to the perfectly clean litter box. It's super frustrating, right? And it's easy to think, what am I doing wrong? Well, here's the thing, you are so not alone in this.
And if you're thinking, oh, that's just my weirdo cat, well, the research might just blow your mind. A study found that a full 34% of indoor cats show major behavioral problems. We're talking things like peeing where they shouldn't or grooming themselves raw. That's not just a handful of cats. That is a massive systemic issue. So, what on earth is causing it? Okay, so the root of the problem? It boils down to this huge fundamental mismatch. Think about it. Inside that furry little head is the brain of a top-tier predator, an animal hardwired to hunt, to climb, to patrol territory, and to escape threats. And where do we put them? Inside a modern apartment.
And this is really the core of it all. On one hand, you have millennia of evolution screaming, climb, hunt, explore, be aware of everything from every angle. And on the other hand, you have, well, 4 walls, a world that's mostly at ground level, super predictable. And yeah, it's safe, but from a cat's point of view, it is incredibly, mind-numbingly boring. This clash, this conflict between their wild brain and their domestic world, that's where all the stress comes from.
And that stress, it doesn't just stay in their heads. It shows up in very real, physical, and measurable ways. Just look at this. Litter box problems. A whopping 41% of cats deal with this, and it's often caused by stress, which can lead to painful urinary tract infections. It's not just being bad. Then there's excessive grooming. 34% of them literally grooming themselves bald or creating skin sores because of anxiety. And if you have more than one cat, oh boy, almost 80% of those homes see constant conflict because the cats have no high ground, no safe place to get away from each other. And don't even get me started on obesity. 58% are overweight, mainly because they're not moving enough. See, these aren't just bad habits, they're symptoms that their environment is failing them.
Okay, so if the environment is the problem, doesn't it make sense that the environment is also the solution? This leads us to a really powerful idea that's flipping pet care on its head. The idea of actively engineering our cat's world for their mental and physical health.
Now, there's a scientific term for this. It's called environmental enrichment. And no, this isn't just about throwing a few more fuzzy mice on the floor. It's a thoughtful, deliberate process of changing a living space to let an animal act on its natural instincts. And for our cats, that means one thing above all: giving them chances to climb, to hunt, to hide, and to explore.
And this is a huge shift in perspective. For so long, the approach has been to try and train the bad out of our cats, with spray bottles or scolding. But this idea flips that completely on its head. It says, hey, maybe the cat isn't the one who's broken. Maybe the world we've given them is. So, let's stop trying to fix the cat, and let's start fixing their world.
So how do we do that? Well, one of the most powerful ways to change a cat's world is to just look up. It's all about thinking vertically. And in fact, research on a system called PlayCat gives us a perfect blueprint for how to rebuild that natural, three-dimensional habitat right on the walls of our homes.
See, this PlayCat system isn't just pretty cat furniture. It's more like a set of behavioral tools, with each piece designed for a purpose. You've got these step platforms. They're not just steps, they encourage jumping, which builds muscle. Then you have these cloud pods. These are secure, high-up perches. For a cat, that's like a safe watchtower, and it's absolutely critical for their sense of security.
The hangar bridge acts like a superhighway in the sky, letting them move around their territory without getting into those tense, ground-level stare-downs. And finally, toy nodes are built right in, tapping directly into that prey drive, that need to hunt. Every single part is there for a reason, connected to a core instinct.
And the effect of going vertical? It's not just psychological, it's literally physiological. Get this. Studies show that just giving a cat a safe spot to hang out, even just 1.5 meters off the floor, can slash their main stress hormone, cortisol, by 31%. Going vertical literally calms them down on a chemical level. It makes them feel safe.
Okay, that's the theory. But does it really work in the real world? Well, the data is pretty clear. The change isn't just a little improvement, it's dramatic. And it's totally measurable.
Let's look at multi-cat homes, which can be total pressure cookers for stress. The results here were just staggering. Before they installed a system like this, they were seeing over 8 conflicts a day. You know, the hissing, the swatting, the tense staring contests. Afterwards, that number dropped to just over 2. That is a 72% decrease in daily drama, all from giving them their own space and a way to get around each other peacefully.
And the good news just keeps rolling in. The positive effects spread to basically every part of their lives. Daily activity? It shot up by 180%. Fights over the food ball? Down by 65%. Those annoying litter box oopsies? They plunged by an incredible 87%. And maybe most importantly, those expensive, stressful vet visits for anxiety-related issues? They were cut by more than half, 57% to be exact.
And yeah, that has a direct impact on your wallet. A healthier, less stressed cat means you're not making those panic trips to the vet for things like bladder infections or skin flare-ups. On average, the research found that households saved about $320 a year on vet bills. That's not nothing. But you know, this story isn't actually just about the cat. The benefits ripple out to the whole house. It's a perfect example of a concept called One Health, the idea that the health of pets and the people they live with are totally, deeply connected.
And the data backs this up in a big way. When the cat's behavioral issues got better, guess what happened to their owners? They reported a 44% drop in their own stress levels. I mean, it just makes sense, right? When your cat is chilled out and happy, you feel more relaxed too. A peaceful pet really does make for a peaceful home.
All of this led the researchers to a really powerful conclusion, one that should totally reframe how we see these kinds of things. They said it themselves. This isn't just a cat toy. It's a behavioral therapeutic tool. It's basically medicine for their environment, an intervention that gets to the root cause of their anxiety and truly improves their quality of life.
And so, all this leaves us with one last really important question we should all ask ourselves. Take a look around your own home. Are we giving our pets a real home, one that actually meets their deep instinctual needs? Or have we just accidentally created a really nice, comfortable holding space, a place that starves their wild soul? Answering that question honestly could change everything. Not just for the cat you love, but for the peace and happiness of your entire home.